In the forests and floodplains of North Africa during the late Cretaceous, one of the largest and most powerful predators ever to walk the earth silently stalked its prey. Hidden among the trees, it watched intently as a small group of sauropods gathered near the lake to drink water. Patiently, the hunter waited for the perfect moment to strike. This predator was none other than the fearsome Carcharodontosaurus, a gigantic carnivore belonging to the theropod family, a group that includes prehistoric giants such as Acrocanthosaurus, Giganotosaurus, and Tyrannosaurus rex. The Carcharodontosaurus remained in the shadows, its massive figure fragmented by the shafts of light filtering through the tree canopy. The sauropods, unaware of the looming danger, stood only 50 meters away while the predator lay in wait, its camouflage rendering it nearly invisible. One of the younger sauropods, drawn to the rustling bushes nearby, began to wander dangerously close to where the hunter was hiding. Minutes passed, and as the prey moved within the perfect range for a sudden ambush, the Carcharodontosaurus burst from the vegetation, charging at its victim. In mere seconds, the predator reached its target and sank its serrated teeth into the sauropod's long, slender neck, tearing it apart. In less than a minute, the young creature collapsed to the ground. The hunter quickly vanished back into the trees, dragging its kill to feed its young. In today's video, we'll dive into the life, habits, evolution, and habitat of the Carcharodontosaurus. We'll uncover not only how this incredible predator lived, but also how it came to the attention of scientists. Join us as we travel back in time to the late Cretaceous, around 100 million years ago, to explore the floodplains of North Africa and meet one of the largest theropods ever to roam the earth. Carcharodontosaurus, first described by scientists in 1925, was a gigantic theropod dinosaur that lived approximately 99 to 94 million years ago during the late Cretaceous, specifically in the Santonian stage. It served as an apex predator in its ecosystem. The type species, Carcharodontosaurus saharicus, is estimated to have reached a length of 12.5 meters from head to tail and weighed over 6 tons. One of its most striking features was its massive skull. Despite its size, its body was relatively lightweight, an attribute that contributed to its name. Within its jaws were rows of blade-like teeth with serrated edges curved backward, similar to those of a great white shark, a species belonging to the genus Carcharodon. When combined with the suffix saurus, meaning lizard, its name translates to shark-toothed lizard, a fitting nickname for this apex predator of the humid regions of North Africa. Despite its impressive size, the skull of Carcharodontosaurus was surprisingly delicate. This has led paleontologists to believe that it was not adapted to crush bones like Tyrannosaurus rex, but rather used its serrated teeth to slice and tear flesh from its prey. Behind its skull, the Carcharodontosaurus exhibited the characteristic build of large theropods from the Cretaceous: a thick, flexible neck, a tall horizontal torso, and relatively small forearms at the front. Its long, powerful legs enabled it to run at high speeds to chase down prey. Meanwhile, its long, pointed tail acted as a counterbalance, helping it maintain stability while running. Carcharodontosaurus first entered the scientific record when 2 teeth were excavated from the walls of an underground aqueduct in what is now south-central Algeria. These teeth were removed from the wall and taken to the governor of the nearby city of Timimoun, who passed them on to French geologist Charles Desperey. Desperey initially identified the teeth as belonging to a large theropod and described the dinosaur as a new genus of Megalosaurus, naming it Megalosaurus saharicus. At the time, many unknown large theropods were classified under the name Megalosaurus, as scientists often used it as a wastebasket taxon for any similar dinosaur that lacked a precise classification within the theropod family tree. In 1927, the classification of Megalosaurus was revised, and it was suggested that the dinosaur might belong to the genus Dryptosaurus, though there was little evidence to support this hypothesis. At that time, no one realized these teeth were the first clues to what would later be known as Carcharodontosaurus, one of the largest theropods to roam North Africa during the late Cretaceous. The discovery of these teeth prompted paleontologists to reconsider other fossils that might also belong to this giant predator. Eventually, it was found that several fossils unearthed in 1914 near Edfu, in what is now Egypt, also belonged to Carcharodontosaurus. These included a partial skull, several teeth, vertebrae, fragments of the pelvis, claw pieces, a femur, and a lower leg bone. These remains were described in 1931 by German paleontologists in Munich who officially named the dinosaur Carcharodontosaurus. Unfortunately, during World War II, the original fossils were destroyed when Munich was bombed by British forces in 1944. Thankfully, a mold of the fossils had been made, allowing paleontologists to preserve their knowledge of this dinosaur for science. For many years, these were the only known remains of Carcharodontosaurus. It wasn't until 1995 that a significant new discovery was made. American paleontologist Paul Sereno, renowned for his groundbreaking finds, uncovered an incomplete skull in the Kem beds of southeastern Morocco. This specimen was designated as the neotype fossil for Carcharodontosaurus saharicus, since the original specimen had been lost during the war. Additional teeth, vertebrae, and other bone fragments have since been found in the Kem beds, further enriching our understanding of this remarkable apex predator. Due to the incomplete nature of Carcharodontosaurus fossil remains, scientists are still uncovering much about this animal and how it lived and hunted its prey. However, several clues provide insights into its lifestyle, such as the abundance of teeth attributed to this dinosaur compared to other large theropods like Tyrannosaurus rex. Carcharodontosaurus had thin teeth that were likely replaced frequently throughout its life. Unlike dinosaurs such as Tyrannosaurus rex, which relied on its powerful bite to crush bones, Carcharodontosaurus likely could not have depended on bone crushing to the same extent. The strength of its jaws and the structure of its teeth would not have allowed it to perform such feats without sustaining severe damage. Studies on its bite force confirm this. Carcharodontosaurus was not capable of crushing and consuming bones, likely feeding only on the softer tissues of its prey while leaving behind the harder bones. From this, we can infer that Carcharodontosaurus preferred to tear and slash its prey with its shark-like teeth, inflicting deep wounds and causing severe blood loss. It was a purely terrestrial predator and likely used ambush tactics to take down sauropods and ornithischians that ventured too close to its hiding spots among the vegetation. The neotype skull discovered by Paul Sereno reveals that this particular individual led a challenging life. It shows evidence of healed wounds caused by bites, subsequent infections, and even fractures in the facial bones. Puncture wounds have been identified in the nasal region, and several bones appear to have been displaced or removed from their original positions due to stress and trauma. These injuries have been proposed as the result of facial bites, possibly inflicted by a rival Carcharodontosaurus attempting to drive this individual away from its territory. Unlike Tyrannosaurus rex, Carcharodontosaurus is believed to have lacked acute binocular vision. Its long, large snout likely restricted its ability to see with both eyes simultaneously. To achieve the best view of its surroundings, the dinosaur probably held its head angled downward, roughly 40 degrees, while looking upward to observe prey or assess its environment. Its visual range was likely similar to that of a modern crocodile, suggesting that Carcharodontosaurus detected its next meal by observing movement against a stationary background. It would lower its head to enhance its vision and strike at the perfect moment. During the late Cretaceous period, during the Santonian stage, North Africa was teeming with a wide variety of aquatic and semi-aquatic environments. Within this landscape, Carcharodontosaurus occupied the ecological niche of apex terrestrial predator. At that time, North Africa was connected to the Tethys Sea, and the continent's shores were lined with dense mangrove forests, tidal flats, rivers, lakes, and swamps, much like modern African regions. These areas are believed to have been warm, with seasonal monsoons bringing vast amounts of water to the region. This prehistoric setting is renowned for its abundance of enormous carnivores, which contrasted sharply with the relatively small number of herbivorous species. Carnivores in this environment divided their ecological niches into distinct roles. Some evolved to hunt fish, others targeted smaller prey, and some, like Carcharodontosaurus, specialized in hunting large herbivores such as sauropods and massive ornithischians. Carcharodontosaurus shared the swamps and water edges of North Africa with another colossal predator, Spinosaurus, perhaps the largest carnivorous dinosaur to ever exist. This enormous semi-aquatic dinosaur thrived in the waterways of ancient Africa, gliding through the waters with its crocodile-like tail and using its slender jaws to snatch aquatic prey. Although the exact nature of the interactions between these two giant species remains uncertain, they occupied very distinct ecological niches within their shared late Cretaceous habitat. Another large theropod that overlapped with Carcharodontosaurus in range was Deltadromeus agilis, a more slender and swift animal likely specialized in pursuit hunting. In contrast, Carcharodontosaurus employed ambush tactics to take down prey. Sauropods such as Perlitodon, along with Egyptosaurus and Rugosaurus, were among the massive herbivores that would have roamed through Carcharodontosaurus territory. The ancient waters of North Africa were filled with strange but familiar creatures, many of which would have been prey for Spinosaurus, while Carcharodontosaurus observed from the shoreline. The massive fish Onychodus, with its sword-like snout and wing-shaped fins, swam in lakes and rivers. Elsewhere, the giant Berardius caught smaller fish with its jaws while remaining ever vigilant for predators, including dinosaurs and crocodilians. Among these crocodilians were species such as Aegisuchus, Ilosuchus, and Sarcosuchus. However, the most peculiar of them all was Stomatosuchus, a large relative of modern crocodiles that occupied the murky, brackish waters of African swamps, swallowing fish with a pelican-like throat pouch. Overhead, pterosaurs like Alanca and Sirocopteryx dove into the water to catch prey. It wouldn't be surprising if one of these flying reptiles fell victim to a particularly hungry or adventurous Carcharodontosaurus. Carcharodontosaurus belongs to a dinosaur family that bears its name, the Carcharodontosauridae. Like other dinosaurs we've recently covered on this channel, such as Giganotosaurus, these dinosaurs were extraordinarily large. Many were contenders for the title of the largest theropods to ever exist, with some even rivaling the imposing Tyrannosaurus rex in size. Revisions to this family conducted in 2022 place Carcharodontosaurus on a distinct branch, with its closest relatives being those within the Giganotosauridae family. This group includes giants like Maposaurus, Pteranodon, Giganotosaurus, and others. Other branches of the family feature dinosaurs such as the formidable Acrocanthosaurus, the humpbacked Concavenator, and Neovenator, one of the largest theropods from the British Isles. Carcharodontosauridae typically led long lives, with some species reaching up to 40 years of maturity. It is believed that some continued growing throughout their lives, with a few individuals living beyond 50 years. This makes them the longest-lived theropods known to science. All these dinosaurs were formidable predators and, in most cases, apex predators in the ecosystems they inhabited. Some, like Kronosaurus and Acrocanthosaurus, had no natural predators once they reached adulthood. The only threat they might have faced was from fully grown members of their own species. The last of the Carcharodontosauridae went extinct around 89 million years ago, long before the mass extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs. And with that, we conclude our journey into the life, habits, and discovery of Carcharodontosaurus, one of the largest predators ever to walk the earth. These gigantic carnivores continue to provide new insights and captivate the world of paleontology. As we uncover more fossils from the late Cretaceous sites of North Africa, our understanding of these incredible creatures will only deepen. Perhaps one day, we will have a complete picture of how these giants lived and hunted.